Good morning. My name is Connie Rogers, and I am the chairman of New Yorkers for Justice. I want to bring your attention to media critic Eric Wemple. Eric Wemple writes from the Washington Post, one left unexpected tidbit was left unexplored. This is regarding Charlotte Bennett, whose accusations against the governor last February were followed by a succession of additional complaints. So as a mom, I'm really terrified. What type of precedent are we setting here? What if somebody just one day says something false about my son? In a blink of an eye, is his life going to be ruined? Gender can never, nor should it ever, equal truth. Truth equals truth.
My name is Brenda Torres. I'm a native New Yorker, a supporter of Governor Andrew Cuomo, and one of the many disenfranchised voters. As a voter, I ask one simple question. How can you make such a decision without seeing evidence? They did forget one important factor in their zeal to achieve their goal, the removal of Governor Cuomo. They forgot the voters, especially the 3.6 million voters who voted for Governor Cuomo and most likely would have voted for him again for a fourth term.
New Yorkers for Justice commissioned a truly independent, crowd-funded, legally sound report led by the Hispanic community that refuted AG's conclusions and shed light on her shadiness. Please email us for a copy and of the video of the presser as the truth matters.
On December 13th, 2020, Lindsey Boylan made public in a series of tweets the first allegations against Governor Andrew Cuomo, and the media wasted no time in publicly convicting him without one shred of credible evidence. Jake Tapper, Anderson Cooper, and the most sickening one of all, Don Lemon of CNN, supposedly Chris Cuomo's best friend. They always accused and pointed a finger ever since the first allegation began, ever since, not even asking for the governor to come on their show and present his side of the story. But let me be clear, he wasn't charged because there was nothing to charge him with. Yet the media continues to take jabs at him and his family at every turn. They left that for the readers to find for themselves. And finally, the name calling by the incompetent in the Attorney General's office that branded him a serial sexual harasser. Miss James, you are a serial liar. Has the media printed that? Who is the disgrace now? There's been much speculation as to whether the governor should run for office in 2022. I ask you this, why shouldn't he? He has not been convicted of any crime. His voters and supporters are standing behind him and with him. We have been ever since this began. We never asked for his resignation. We were disenfranchised. We voted this governor into office 3 times, and God willing, if he runs again, we'll vote him in for a 4th.
Governor Cuomo helped me get through a really dark time in my life. Not only was it the beginning of the pandemic, which none of us had ever lived through before, but my dad was diagnosed with cancer. It was a terrifying time in my life in so many ways. I felt like I was living in a nightmare that I couldn't escape. Governor Cuomo got on TV every day to talk to New Yorkers and people from around the world that tuned in and guide us through the unknown, to give us facts, to let us know that we weren't alone, even though many of us felt that way.
The allegations of sexual harassment that sprung up suddenly and furiously between December 2020 and March 2021 were used and amplified by many in the state legislature to assure his removal from office. The investigation by Letitia James examined evidence and interviewed 179 witnesses, but only a small part of the story was presented to the public, the part that supported the narrative they wanted you to hear. So my point to telling you about this is If I believed that Andrew Cuomo had sexually harassed even one of these women, I wouldn't be here talking to you today.
Every single one of the charges against Governor Cuomo that was alleged to constitute criminal wrongdoing has now completely fallen apart. But the perpetrators of this farce, nevertheless, has succeeded in their goal of upending New York State's government. This is a horrible precedent. Again, that's Michael Tracy.